Continuing our discussion about brain waves, we're going to talk about the alpha frequency today. The alpha frequency is very interesting because we can do lots of things when we know how to get to the alpha frequency. We can increase our intelligence, improve our memory, use it for creativity, alertness, of reducing stress, anxiety. With regular practice, we can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. So there's a lot of benefits to being able to go to the alpha frequency. So again, if we look back at our chart, alpha frequency is over here. And when we look at the alpha frequency, it's the most stable frequency out of all of the brain waves. And when you learn how to meditate, your brain waves become more ordered. So if I were to look at your brain waves before and after you took a meditation class with me, we could see that after the fact, your brain waves are more ordered. Now you get a lot of benefits from that because you get all those benefits that I just mentioned. Plus, anyone around you starts to synchronize to your level, and their brain waves will actually become more ordered. So we can affect everything around the planet by simply working on ourselves, our personal development, learning how to meditate, and becoming more ordered in our brain frequencies. So when we look at the chart over here, we're in in beta most likely right now. And when we go down into this alpha, and we say down just as a general direction, you become more relaxed, you get more into it, and you can tap into different resources. So when we look at this on the beta world, we call that the outer conscious level. And the alpha and below, we call that the inner conscious, meaning that the outer conscious is the world around us, the inner conscious is our mind. In the outer conscious level, we have objective things that are going on. We have sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, time, and space. We can touch things. If I ask you to go out and walk around the block right now in your neighborhood, it might take you 20 minutes or half an hour to walk around your block. If I ask you to go to a meditative state and imagine yourself walking around a block, you can walk around a block in a couple of, in a matter of seconds. So that's what we say that there's no time and space. So when we look at the alpha level, we call this a subjective level, and there's no time, space, and there's non-locality. So we can project ourselves anywhere in the universe that we want to go to. Now, our brain doesn't really care about how it gets input. So it can get inputs from the objective level, from the world around us, or from our imagination, and by doing remote viewing and using our imagination to be able to do things. When the brain detects those things coming in, it's going to interpret them the same way as we do when we're awake, and it's going to look at things and it's going to be able to get that information for us. So when we learn how to function at this alpha level, we can then start to do things at a subjective level. We can uh, do remote viewing, and we use that in the class for healing purposes and for psychic detection of detecting issues. So you could look, for instance, if you had a problem with your car, you could visualize your car, work on it, and figure out where the problem is. You can do the same thing with remote detection on people. You can visualize the person on your mental screens and in your mind, and figure out what the issues are with them. And when we do this in the class, everyone's always a little nervous when they start to do this, and then everyone gets hits, as we call them, and they start to get validation of the information that they're seeing. So they can say, "Oh, the person's walking with a limp," and you notice that the person has a problem with their leg, for example, or they have some other issues, and it's pretty fascinating. And when everyone believes someone else can do this, but they can't. Everyone has this ability, and what we want to do is teach you how to use this ability. In the alpha level, we can also use that for enhanced learning, so we can learn things a lot faster. We can do a better memory recall. We can tap into other subjective senses to get answers to things. So, for instance, if you want to learn an instrument, if you know how to alter your brain frequency, go to an alpha state and start learning that instrument, you'll be able to learn it much faster. If you want to learn a sport and you start doing it at the meditative state, you can start learning it faster. They did an experiment a number of years ago where they took a basketball team and they divided into three groups. One group, they practiced doing whatever the drill was every day for an hour. They took the second group and they practiced every day for an hour and meditated on practicing for an hour, and then took the third group and they just meditated on practicing the same thing for an hour. And after some period, a week or so, whatever, they evaluated everyone again, and they saw that the people that meditated on doing the skill and the people that actually did the skill had about the same results in their performance increase. Now, the people who practiced the skill physically and meditated on the skill had the greatest improvement over the course of the study. So if we use that to our advantage and we're learning a new skill, or we're learning to play an instrument, for example, and we practice the instrument, and then when we meditate on practicing it, we'll be able to pick up that instrument much faster. So if this is exciting to you, see about going to come to my website, sign up for one of my classes where we go in depth on how and teach you how to do this over the course of about 4 days.